Expectations the same for next year then?
I believe so, yeah. Absolutely. I'm excited with the group that we have and the group that's coming in, and I think, it's always a challenge. It's a new year, but, that's been our goal for a long time, and I don't see it changing.
What are some things that coaches and wrestlers do in the summer outside of the regular season?
We do have practice in the summer, which we can. Not required, but we can have practices. So we'll have that a couple days a week. Freestyle and Greco tournaments. A lot of the individuals, some are involved in, and that certainly helps prepare them. Gives them more mat time and experience. So lifting weights, a lot of guys are motivated on their own and work out and get ready.
All right. Do you have any plans for your kids or futures in wrestling?
My son is interested in it, and I've really been somewhat kind of holding him back. A couple tournaments every year, and we did a couple more this year, and he's showed quite a bit of interest in it. So we'll see where that goes, and in whatever direction he wants to go is great. He's doing a lot of things, with baseball, and he did basketball, and just trying a lot of things. And I think that's important because I really want them to do what they want. My daughter, she has no interest in wrestling, which is great. But she's going to try tennis this year, and she does soccer, and she enjoys coming most of the time. Gets to be long for them, but yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You guys stay put for this quick commercial break, because coming back we'll have Treinen.
I'm leaving now. You need a ride home?
No, Tony, you're not driving home.
Yeah, I'm just buzzing, man. I'm fine.
No, you're not driving home. You're so drunk.
No, I'm fine.
If you're fine, walk in the straight line.
All right.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
No,
okay,
I'm
you're not driving
completely
home.
sober.
No, you're not fine.
Dude, what's the big deal? I'm not even drunk.
You are too drunk. You can't even walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
You look like you're going to pass out standing up. Tommy,
I'm
give
pro.
me your keys.
No.
I'm not pro.
Take them if you want.
That was hard. Wow. Okay, I'm taking you home.
All right.
Come on, we gotta get in your car.
That way.
Nope, this way. This way. Yep. That way. That way. There you go. All right, get in.
In 2005, 23% of drivers ages 15 to 20 who died in motor vehicle crashes had been drinking alcohol. Motor vehicle crashes remain the #1 cause of death among youth ages 15 to 20. There were 7,460 youth motor vehicle crashes in 2005, and all involved alcohol. In 2005, 39% of fatal crashes among all age groups involved alcohol.
You're right, man. You are a pal.
Anytime, Bonnie.
Friends don't let friends drive first.
Let's bring in my next guest, guidance counselor Curt Hossman. So, Mr. Hossman, could you start us off with a joke?
Oh my gosh. Well, the Pope, he was visiting New York just a while back, and he decided that, he'd like to see the countryside, so he asked his chauffeur if he'd take him upstate New York. And chauffeur says, okay, so they start driving upstate New York, and he goes, geez, I haven't driven forever. So he says to the chauffeur, why don't you let me drive? The chauffeur goes, well, I can't let you drive. You probably don't even have a driver's license. He says, pull over, I'll show you. So he pulls over, and he says, here, I've got a driver's license. And he has an Italian driver's license. Can you believe that? Pope has one of those. So the guy says, oh, okay, you can drive. So Pope gets in the limo, and he hasn't driven for 4 or 5 years, so he gets a heavy foot. You know how that goes. So he starts speeding. Before you know it, the squad car starts circling around, pulls into the side, state patrol. He starts walking up, and the window comes down. And he looks, he can't believe it, and he says, well, do you have a driver's license? And he hands him, the Pope hands him his driver's license. He takes it, and he backs up and goes, oh, okay, just a sec. Calls the dispatcher, and he says, oh, man, I don't know what to do to give this guy a ticket. He's pretty darn important. He's pretty important. And the dispatcher says, well, he's not more important than the mayor. He's more important than the mayor. Well, he can't be more important than the congressman. Yep, he's more important than the congressman. Well, the next thing you're going to tell me, he's more important than the governor. Yep, he's more important than the governor. Well, you mean to tell me he would be more important than the president? Yeah, he's more important than the president. Well, who is he? And the officer looks and says, I don't know, but the Pope's his chauffeur.
All right. That was a good one.
I don't have many good ones. So.
What made you choose to be a high school guidance counselor?
Well, actually, I started out my career as a social worker, and I dealt with a lot of people that were really in poverty, and their lives were really difficult. And I did most of my counseling and therapy with them, and trying to talk to them about their issues. But the reality is, their lives didn't change a whole lot until they started going back to school and getting an education. In other words, that was the key to get them out of poverty and make things better for them. So I said, well, it doesn't make sense for me to do this if I really want to try to help people in some ways. So I went back to school, and that's when I became a counselor. So I went back to college and worked on a counseling degree.
All right. How long have you been working at LHS?
Wow, a long time. This is my 30th year here.
Oh.
But I look a lot younger, right?
Oh, of course, of course. What is your favorite part of being a guidance counselor at LHS?
Oh, by far, just being with the students. I really like being with students, and I like being with young people. They have more energy, and they're fun to be with, and they think I'm a little goofy, and I like it.
All right. What will you miss most about being a counselor?
Well, again, it's probably the same answer. Working with young people, just talking to them, basically one-on-one is my favorite. But I like doing classes and stuff, so just being with the students, basically.
All right. In your opinion, what is the hardest part of your job?
Probably the hardest part is sometimes I have to work with students that really have tough situations and they can't change them, so it makes me kind of sad. And even after doing it 30 years, sometimes the things that happen to people, and you probably got friends that have it happen to you, just kind of make you sad. You can't forget about it. So the hardest part is just kind of dealing with people that really are struggling sometimes.
All right. After you retire, what will happen to the groups that you've started, like Eagle's Nest, SAD, and Big Buddy?
Fortunately, I've been talking to people in all the programs that I started. I've been working very hard at transitioning over. So Eagle's Nest is now a leadership program, and Mrs. Hernandez, Mrs. Kroll, Mrs. Dalton are going to, Mrs. Tunn, they're going to all work with that, so that will continue. Big Buddy, Mrs. Westbury is going to work on. So all the programs that I started, I'm hoping will continue. In the scholarship, Mr. Lemke and Mrs. Treinen have taken control of that. So a lot of the things that I was organizing, I think, hopefully will just continue. So.
All right. Why did you choose this particular year to retire?
Well, there are a number of factors that kind of led to it. I'm going to, my oldest daughter's having her 3rd grandchild. Can you believe that?
No.
It's hard to believe. I never get to play with them.
Oh, okay.
And I play really good with little kids. So I want to do more of that. The second thing is that I thought about, because I could have retired earlier, that I really love my job, but I figure I'm going to love my job now and 5 years from now, and if I don't retire sometime, I'll just be here until I'm like really old. So I figured there has to be a time to do it. And I kind of want to reinvent myself. I want to try some different things. There's a number of volunteer activities I want to be involved in. I want to travel a little bit more, I want to bike a little bit more, and I really